Hi,
Morning.
this is Kim,
This is Andy.
and we're going to read to you from the Urantia book,
But first,
365 Days of Walking the Red Road by Terry Jean.
today we hear from
It's April 7th, too.
Chief Seattle,
Chief Seattle.
who said, "There is no death, only a change of worlds." I like that.
Yeah, isn't that so on point? It's right there. Yeah.
And then a native we need to know, Corey Witherell, a Navajo, holds the distinction of being the most successful Native American race car driver in history. Witherell has raced several times in the PPG Dayton Indy Lights Championship, and in 2001 raced his first Indianapolis 500.
Woohoo! Go Corey!
Wow,
Go Corey. So he's like 50 years old now.
fast Indian.
Yep, he's a fast Indian. Yep.
And then I will let you.
Yep. He's Navajo from Los Angeles. Yep. And he's 50 years old now. Yeah. Okay, cool guy. All right.
I'll let you handle
The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, translation by Ralph Allendale. Okay. We have these misty mountain vistas today. And our chapter is about wisdom always comes from below. Okay, isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now think of that. What does that mean? So, because here we're accustomed to looking to the person above us, whether that's our boss or our parents, or like, okay, so laws come from above, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But wisdom comes from below, from the children, the innocent child who asks the profound question that the adult can't possibly answer.
From where we are grounded.
Right. So
there's a wisdom in living on this earth that runs counter to today's modern lifestyle.
Right.
In fact, when today's modern lifestyle started happening in the last century, some people call it the Great Forgetting.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been a couple hundred years in the coming,
great
but yeah.
Forgetting of wisdom, which comes from living below with the earth.
Right. Okay. Being grounded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So you're thinking more in physical ways. I'm thinking more in social ways.
You know me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's very profound also. Okay. Why do all the hundreds of great rivers flow naturally to the sea? Because the sea is below.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sea is always lower than the rivers.
Mm-hmm.
When are thousands of people attracted to a sage? When she positions herself below them, always listening, tirelessly responding to their needs. Right? That's what I mean socially.
Mm-hmm.
A great leader positions himself or herself below, last among the people, which is totally backwards from how we perceive it. How do you get ahead? By stepping on the people below you and kissing the behind of the person ahead of you.
That's not wisdom.
That's not wisdom, but that's really how what our system is geared to today. Never commanding, never coercing, never manipulating. Such a sage is forever adored, since she treats everyone with love and respect, since everyone loves and respects her. And one thing I just casually mentioned, one thing I love about this text, Ralph Allendale did is substitute the masculine pronouns occasionally and with the female pronouns. So he does that kind of like back and forth throughout the book, and that's wonderful too. So we position ourselves beneath people, and then they always bring their love to us because we listen to them, we care for them, we see them as ahead of us. When in reality we don't actually know Um,
What is it? I'll not remember what you said, but I'll remember how you made me feel.
yes, that's a great quote too. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
Halle Berry, I think, said that.
Hmm.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in the Urantia book, we're still on paper 41.
Yep, section 10. So
10.
we're ending paper 41 today. We're doing origin of inhabited world.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
start. Some of the variable stars in or near the state of maximum pulsation are in process of giving origin to subsidiary systems, many of which will eventually be much like your own sun and its revolving planets. Your sun was in just such a state of mighty pulsation when the massive Angona system swung into near approach and the outer surface of the sun began to erupt veritable streams, continuous sheets of matter.
Right.
This kept up with ever-increasing violence until nearest apposition, when the limits of solar cohesion were reached and a vast pinnacle of matter, the ancestor of the solar system, was disgorged. In similar circumstances, the closest approach of the attracting body sometimes draws off whole planets, even a quarter or a third of a sun. These major extrusions form certain peculiar cloud-bound types of worlds, spheres much like Jupiter and Saturn.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
The majority of solar systems, however, had an origin entirely different from yours, and this is true even of those which were produced by gravity tidal technique. But no matter what technique of world building obtains, gravity always produces the solar system type of creation, that is, a central sun or dark island with planets, satellites, subsatellites, and meteors. The physical aspects of the individual worlds are largely determined by mode of origin, astronomical situation, and physical environment. Age, size, rate of revolution, and velocity through space are also determining factors. Both the gas construction and the solid
Contraction.
gas contraction
Yep.
and the solid accretion worlds are characterized by mountains, and during their earlier life, when not too small, by water and air. The molten, split, and collision worlds are sometimes without extensive mountain ranges.
So this is a very different kind of a world.
Mhm.
See, we're seeing again here that how exceptional that we are. Can you imagine a world without very many like mountain ranges, or that has, like, you know, yeah,
Mhm.
interesting.
During the earlier ages of all these new worlds, earthquakes are frequent, and they are all characterized by great physical disturbances, especially as is true of the gas contraction spheres, the worlds born of the immense nebular rings which are left behind in the wake of the early condensation and contraction of certain individual suns. Planets having a dual origin like Urantia pass through a less violent and stormy youthful career. Even so, your world experienced an early phase of mighty upheavals characterized by volcanoes, earthquakes, floods, and terrific storms.
Right.
I'll let you finish.
Okay. So I just want to point out, like, isn't this different than what we learned about, like, how the Earth was formed, like in Earth science class, back in, well, how did you
Science
learn?
class.
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
How was Earth formed that we learned? Can I look at this quick?
Mhm.
Okay, we got to go pretty soon, I know, but we're going to look at this real quick, okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so, right, so there's swirling dust clouds. Okay, but they don't say how these swirling dust clouds got there. Okay, so the Earth formed when gravity pulled swirling gas and dust in to become the third planet of the sun. Okay, but they're not saying here. Okay, so I know there's swirling gas clouds, but this tells us here that those gas clouds came from this Angona system, this Angona star, right?
Mhm.
That swung close by our sun
Mhm.
and pulled out some of that material from the sun.
Mhm.
So if that hadn't happened, we probably wouldn't. So that's what this is telling us. It's not in our science books.
Right. That's amazing.
Right.
Wonder what
They just
physics-
figured, well, there's a sun forming and it's got orbits here around here, and some of those gas clouds formed into planets. Like as the middle condensed, it left some stuff out there. That's what I think we learned here. Just because it's spinning around or something, and then it throws off some stuff like that. But no, something came by there and pulled that stuff off. Okay. So let's go. Okay.
Why don't you finish?
Okay, Urantia is comparatively isolated on the outskirts of Satania, your solar system. Here, your solar system, with one exception, being the farthest removed from Jerusalem.
Really?
Right, okay. So we're on the farthest border of Satania. There's only one solar system that's further out from Satania, from Jerusalem than we are, right? Jerusalem is the middle, capital Satania, right? While Satania itself is next to the outermost system of Norlaeshadak. Okay, that's interesting too. So Satania is on the outskirts of Norlaeshadak. So it's the outside of the outside.
What is Norlaeshadak?
Norlaeshadak is our constellation.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
So say that again.
So our universe is divided into constellations. So Norlaeshadak, right? So and Satania is on the outer rim of Norlaeshadak, and then Urantia is on the outer edge of Satania.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. So while Satania itself is next to the outermost system of Norlaeshadak, there might be one more that's that's further out. And this constellation is now traversing the outer fringe of Nebadon. Okay.
Wow.
You were truly among the least of all creation until Michael's bestowal elevated your planet to a position of honor and great universe interest.
Oh, wow.
See, it's because he came here, and because he came here because we're so messed up and brought so many more challenges to us and invested this in us. Now it's like all the people in the universe are interested in us. To see if we can get these straight. Yeah, the last shall be first. Sometimes the last is first. Well, truly, the least becomes greatest. See, and that's why you can't, tell when you're with somebody who is like, totally a piece of nothing. You know what I mean? Like a jerk, like boo boo or whatever. Okay, whatever. Totally, you don't know that person could rise above you.
Right.
So you always have to treat everybody with with dignity. So it's important to keep that in mind when you're dealing with that. Some people out there are lost, but that doesn't mean they're not going to be found. I don't know. I just have to be responsible for mine. I have just a tiny bit of power in this world, just this tiny little bit that I have to be responsible for. Okay, well, that is the end of paper 41, presented by an archangel in collaboration with the chief of Nebadon Power Centers. Thank you very much, Archangel.
Wow.
Okay.
Very interesting.
We have busy time as usual to go to the doctor. So, all right. Yep. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye.